The short film Mr. Happy is a social commentary on young people's inability to seek out appropriate help when struggling with their mental health. Mr. Happy, directed by Colin Tilley, follows the life of Victor, a depressed young black man living on his own in America. Victor works a deadbeat retail job, has no friends, no family, and recently discovered his girlfriend is cheating on him. All of these things act as a catalyst for Victor's mental deterioration. Being from California, Tilly grew up in an environment where image meant everything, and genuine connection with those around you meant less so. In an interview with Vice, Tilly stated that he'd never experienced such strong emotions like that of his protagonist Victor. However, could it be that the disconnected, lonely and well-disguised nature of Victor is a reflection of not only the director, but the producer and executive producer of the film? Let's take a look at how Tilly, along with cinematographer Rob Witt, constructed meaning in such a raw and emotional piece. The first thing that strikes the viewer in Mr. Happy is Witt's use of lighting to create enigmas. The very first frame generates a whirlwind of questions for the audience, such as who is on screen, or where is this person and what's about to happen next. The low-key soft lighting ensures that nothing is given away and that all of the audience's attention is directed towards Victor. He is also backlit, creating more separation from the already blurred out background, emphasising that Victor is completely isolated. Filmmaker Caleb Ward suggested that the technique of low-key lighting is mainly used when the director wants to isolate a character, make the audience feel uneasy, or guide the viewer's eye, all of which Witt achieves beautifully. Lighting is cleverly used to steadily reveal more and more information to the audience. For example, in the first couple of shots, the only information the audience has is that Victor is suffocating. Then, as the sequence progresses, we realise that Victor is in his bedroom, which is revealed to us by the dimly lit bed and drawer set in the background. And then we start to get an idea of the shape of Victor's room. For example, we see that just after his bed is two large windows, and then we have the items lit by the practical desk lamp, such as the used tissues and cereal bowl, and this tells the audience that Victor's living in a dirty environment, connoting heartbreak or a loss of purpose. It's said that great cinematography is about knowing how to direct and mould light, and I believe Witt used equipment such as black flags to cut and shape light, leaving us with a very stylised frame, one that gives intimations of a prison cell. One last note to make on lighting. Throughout the film, the key light is often used to create a dramatic visual effect. For example, placing the key light above Victor's face and shining down creates a drop shadow underneath his eye sockets, and this makes Victor look well and truly tired. Tight focal lengths are used to immerse the audience in Victor's experience. In this scene where Victor puts a plastic bag over his head, Witt almost always fills the frame or frames the shot unconventionally. Having no headroom or space at the sides of the shots makes the viewers feel claustrophobic and trapped. Even with wide-angle lenses, Witt still tries to use up space in the frame, and on the rare times he doesn't, the negative space is in complete darkness. The fast lenses used in the film serve two purposes. Firstly, fast lenses allow more light to hit the sensor, making them ideal for low light environments such as Victor's bedroom. But secondly, because along with lighting, shallow depth shots tell the audience what they should be focusing on. In fact, the way Tilly has incorporated fast lenses tells the audience what Victor himself is focusing on. For instance, we can see in this collection of shots that Victor is intensely examining his physical health. His teeth are in focus, yet his jawline is out of focus, thus replicating how our own eyes would respond when fixating on something close to them. What's surprising about the opening sequence of Mr. Happy is the lack of camera movement. Conventionally in cinema, camera movement is kept to a minimum when there's little movement in the scene, as there's no motivation for the camera to move. However, I believe that times where this rule can be broken include scenes where the audience need to enter the protagonist's headspace, in which case shooting some of the shots in the sequence handheld would have communicated better Victor's hectic and unstable mindset. There is a nice low angles tracking shot in there that may have been applied during post, but equally could have been achieved using a slider, and this slow zoom in further exaggerates the longevity of Victor's suffering, not being able to breathe. From the very start of the film, the camera's position debilitates Victor and portrays him as this very weak and vulnerable being. This high-angle overhead shot of Victor takes away all of his power and reduces him to part of the set design, as there's no separation between him and his environment. High-angled shots are commonly used to make a character look insignificant and small, and I believe that Victor is depicted in this way to achieve an emotional response from the audience. Immediately we feel upset and sorry for Victor. On the flip side of this, low-angled shots usually give authority and power to the protagonist. However, in this case, the low-angled shot of Victor's feet doesn't empower him, but instead empowers and magnifies themes of hopelessness and death. All elements of design in Mr. Happy work together to articulate Victor's disconsolation. A good percentage of the film is shot in Victor's bedroom, suggesting to the viewers that he doesn't have a social life and is more comfortable in the seclusion that his bedroom provides. The messy state of the location, with tissues, half-eaten food and pizza boxes lying around, convey a sense of worthlessness. This is a character who doesn't qualify for the lower levels in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. An article by Richard Lackey propounds that colour schemes can affect us psychologically and can be used as a strong device within story. The different tones and colours present in the early scenes of the short create a sense of poor health, bacteria and disease. As you can see in the film's colour palette, there are no colours connoting life or vibrancy. The dingy green wall looks unclean, even Victor's skin appears diminished and devitalised. I believe the colours created a dull and desaturated image to show that we're starting the film at the climax of Victor's mental journey. If we were watching from the start of Victor's mental journey, his skin would look a lot more nourished. However, in this snapshot of Victor's life, we're at a point where he has been struggling and unhappy for a long time. Signs are used to develop plot, theme and character in deeper ways visually. Tilly's use of prop quickly relays information to the audience through symbolism. For example, the two cats looking upwards tell us that what we're about to watch is going to be unpleasant. They may even be foreshadowing what's to come at the end of the film. Behind the cat, we see a St. Mary candle. This could possibly hint that Victor turned to religion in a desperate attempt to find hope and meaning in life. Sound design is used to replicate Victor's experience and make the audience feel sympathetic for our protagonist. Foley sounds such as breathing has been heightened to cause tension and suspense for the audience. As the plastic bag goes over Victor's head, the audio distorts and sounds muted to position the viewers inside of the bag with Victor. The detailed crunching of the bag and Victor's gasping for air makes time move more slowly. It's painful to watch, and the gasping makes the scene all the more upsetting. This scene encourages viewers to reflect on their own breathing pattern, purely because of the abnormal, irregular rhythm of Victor's breath. The non-diegetic music is lullaby-like. It's haunting and dark. It suggests to the viewer that, like most lullabies, Mr. Happy does not come with a positive ending. To tie the sound design together, there is a subtle bedroom atmos, ensuring a level of consistency in the design. The cinematic devices used in Mr. Happy allow the audience to have a strong emotional connection to Victor. He represents those of us who are struggling with mental health or just struggle to connect with others. We want Victor to succeed. It's almost an underdog story in the battle of life. And that's what makes the ending so heartbreaking. Just when Victor finds reason to live, he dies. A truly well shot and thought-provoking film by Tilly and Witt.